Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be working on this Shimano Deore M510 rear derailleur. I believe that this derailleur comes from around about the year 2000s. So this derailleur is missing a back cage and some jockey wheels. So I'm going to begin by removing the small bolts and barrel adjusters, etc., limit screws. So we're going to take off this circlip that's at the back of the derailleur for the top knuckle pivot, and that's already released itself. The spring, there's a seal, and the spring, which is dry. We can now push the pivot bolt out, and there's another type of seal here. We're now going to remove the other pivot bolt to take off the cage. So we're going to use a number 2 Allen key wrench. Stick that in to the there's a bolt right here on the side that we're going to undo to release this part. We can now release the tension of that spring and lift everything out. So the spring itself, the seal here as well to clean. I think that's pretty much everything for this derailleur. Okay, so I've removed all the parts. We're going to give this a clean. I'm going to just put this in some soapy water and just give it a scrub. Normally that should suffice, and then we're going to add on some grease and put this all back together again. So I'm adding on grease to the necessary parts, such as the springs and the pivots. So on the top here there was a seal. I'm going to just pop that pivot bolt back in. I believe this seal, the one with the smaller length from the side, goes here, and the other one on the other side. Okay, so we're going to put the larger width part of this spring here into the lower part of the into the lower knuckle. There will be a few holes here, and this is going to regulating the tension for this specific spring. So I believe that if we put it into this hole here, it will be less tension, then this is going to be higher tension. Do as you will. We're going to twist this around in the right position, and then it's this part here is going to stop on this stopper. So I'm going to turn around in that direction and then push down for it to hold onto here, and now this should be fine. Now we're going to put the bolt back into the hole here that holds the actual pivot inside this knuckle. You're going to make sure that this is nice and tight so that there's no gaps in between. Make sure that's pushed down. You can actually push down against the table whilst you're doing this. And this will be a number 2 Allen key wrench. You can now let go, and that should be properly tensioned. I'm going to put the anchor bolt for the cable. Now we're going to put the second spring onto the upper knuckle. We're going to put the spring first in. To make this easier, we're going to take off this limit screw. We're going to stick that on the top and put the other tip of that spring into the plate. Now we're going to need to tension the spring and get the part that's latching over towards the stopper. So to do that, we're going to need to twist and then push down. So to do this, the easiest way I find is to use an Allen key wrench, but you can pretty much use anything that's going to allow you to do this. I put it into the hole, so we're just going to use the angle of the Allen key to turn this, tension this, and then after we can push down the plate, and then we're in contact with the stopper. We can now just take the Allen key out, holding everything in place while you're doing it, of course. You don't want this to swing back into your fingers as it hurts. We're now going to take the clip and then need a plier to pry this down, the circlip. Plumber's wrench is my favourite, but I can't find it, so I'm just going to use this one. That's in. I'm going to put the limit screws back in. Put this screw back in on here. Put the barrel adjuster back in place as well. Okay, so now we just need to put the jockey wheels back into place. I found some alternatives to be able to do that. That was a really weird angle to put the jockey wheel bowl. You have to lift up, you have to tension the derailleur itself to be able to fit it on. Okay, so we've got two. So G pulley on the top and the regular jockey wheel at the bottom. Put the cage plate back on. So we're going to find out now if that's going to be compatible. Okay, so complete. Jockey wheels seem like they're working fine with this replacement cage. Obviously, if yours is just a regular one and you're just reservicing yours, take no notice. So thank you for listening. Peace out.